Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Garage. I'm Scott, Ordinary Guy. And first off, I'd like to say thank you to all the new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, become a new subscriber and click the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And on that note, I gotta tell you, life for me is full of experiences and observations that humble me. Constantly, on a daily basis, I'm humbled by the world around me. The response I've had so far to my YouTube channel that I've only started a couple of months ago is truly humbling. Thank you, everybody who is subscribed. Thank you. So today, what we're going to do is, I'm back on my 68 SS396 El Camino. I like saying that because it's kind of been a dream car for me. So anytime I could throw an SS396, I'm gonna do it. So anyways, I got it together. It's been sitting outside for a little bit, haven't messed with it too much. My big problem right now is the DMV is closed. And I bought this car from out of state, and I need to have the VIN inspected, and I need to register it and do all of that. And the DMV is closed because of COVID-19. So as soon as that opens back up, I'm gonna register it. So I took a little bit of time off of it, worked on my Chevy, my 66 short bed for a while. But now it's time to mess with this a little bit. So what I need to do right now is I bought a set of Flowmaster 2.5-inch tailpipes that I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing up off the ground, and we're gonna go ahead and put those on. So anyways, hang tight, we'll get started. All right, so we have these little hanger things I'm gonna use. I got two for each side. One's gonna go right where the tailpipe welds to the muffler. I'll put one of these right here. It's got hangers in there now, but they're mixed match and they sit a little bit crooked, so I'm gonna freshen it up. And then another one will go back by the tail, into the tailpipe. These are pretty cool. I got these from Summit Racing, and I was surprised. They were $2 or something like that, or $2.50 a piece. And really, I mean, they're pretty heavy duty. It's like a 3/8 rod on there, and nice little bracket with a rubber isolator to keep the vibration down. So, and they're welded right there, so not a bad deal. If you're looking at hangers, check those out. $2. So, and then this is the pipe, of course. Flowmaster pipe, mandrel bent. I don't know if that really makes a difference, but it looks cool. So, I read a bunch of reviews on them before I bought them, and they use them on the A bodies, and one guy, he cut it and did a bunch of, to kind of move it around where he wants. So to get it to set in there right. So I'm hoping that my mufflers have the right offset or sitting in the right spot for this. Because what I found out in watching different videos and whatnot, you're supposed to start at the tailpipe and work your way forward. I never knew that. I always worked from the header back. So anyways, here we are. This is what we're gonna do. Work our way through it. Here we go. This right here, you can see the tailpipe. I already cut one side off of the other side. It was in like that. They had, well, I'll tell you, the exhaust when I bought this car was in a pile. I mean, not in a pile. It was in a pile of parts that came with the car. And it's really good condition. I was going to replace it, but then I started looking at it and said, man, this is in really good condition. Just a little bit of surface rust, so I decided to just work with it, you know. I mean, it's expensive putting these cars together, and anywhere you can save a buck, you got to do it. Or at least I do. So it has 2.5-inch exhaust coming, or pipe coming back to Flowmasters, and then it went to this pipe here as a tailpipe. And then you can see it's like 2-inch. So I can't imagine that worked all that well, but whatever. Anyways, I got one side cut off. I'm going to cut off this other side here, and then we're going to see how everything lines up. Get over here like this. All right. There we go. All right, you can see where I'm at with it right now. I hung it with coat hangers in a few spots. I left the plastic on because when they mandrel bend these, they use oil on them, and so they're kind of oily. So I got it in there, and man, it's hard to see. It looks pretty good. This will line up nicely. I had to cut a little piece here because I got to cut some of the muffler off. And I'll go up on when I go up on the bench, I'll show you why I had to do that. So anyways, I'm going to take this all down and out of here and go back up on the bench, and we'll start putting it together. Okay, so here we are up on the bench. What I'm going to do with this pipe here is I'm going to add 2 inches to the side that goes into the muffler. And the reason for it is 2 reasons. One is in order to get the old pipe out of here, you have to cut part of the other pipe with it. And that's because of this style of clamp. That style of clamp, but these are great. I mean, these work really, really good. They've been around forever and they work really, really good. And the reason for it is when you clamp them, you can see that little divot right there. This thing here actually bends the metal on both pieces. So that's why they work so good. It won't come apart. I mean, you can cut them and you can beat them. You can do all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure there's a trick to getting it apart, but the easiest thing for me is just cut the whole dang thing off and you know, do that. So pretending that this is the end of your muffler, when you do use these, try to put them out as far as you can, you know, the farthest out you can get them, and still have them grab a hold. Because that way, later on down the road, if you have to change a tailpipe, say you get one catches on a whoop-de-doo or something and you gotta change your tailpipe, you can cut it off and still have something to work with. You'll still have a stub there. So do that. So that's the first reason because of that. The other one is I want to center this pipe up. I only have to compensate for about 1 inch right there, but I want this to center up above my axle. So I'm adding 2 inches to it right there. Plus it'll slide in just a little bit. It's going to work out perfect. And then I'm going to put 6 inches, add 6 inches to the other side over here to get it to come out just where I want it, pretty much on the muffler. I may have to trim it after it's in there, but I think I said muffler, I mean bumper. The bumper has a curve, how do I get it? Kind of a curved angle to it like that. So I'm not putting it at the bottom angle and not the top. I'm going to try to go like right in the middle there. So that's my plan anyway. So as all my plans, sometimes they change. We'll see what happens. Okay, well I got it tacked together, or I welded the extension right here, and then I welded the piece to the front and then tacked it to the muffler. So, and then I put it up here. My plan is to have it sit right in between the bolt here and the bolt there. So I'll do that, but first I'll get the other side to this condition and then I can do my adjusting. And then the other thing that I wanted, and I was talking about this earlier, here's the curve of the bumper right here. And then the tailpipe, let me see, I can get it like that. It's going to be, lands in between it. So that way if you walk past it and you happen to rub up against the bumper, you won't catch your leg and it won't blow exhaust up behind the bumper. So that's what I'm shooting for. This will tuck up a little bit. It looks like it's hanging down low right there, but it's really just because of this piece right here isn't, you know, it sits at an angle on the car. It's not flat. So it's pretty close, almost there. I'll check back in a little bit. Alrighty, I got everything welded up as far as welded to the muffler on both sides. It's all tied in there. I got the muffler clamp on that side in already. Got to finish it up, but it's there holding up that side. This side over here, let me move back. I put a little board in between, little spacer, piece of 3/8 in there, so that way it's not sitting up against the metal and have a little bit of room to move around. Got that clamped that. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this side in, and then I'll just move up and weld at the muffler, but we're pretty much there. All right, well, I got it all buttoned up and back on the ground. You can see the pipe sits down there pretty good. When you're standing next to it, you don't see it at all. Across the back here, just a little bit of stick out on both sides. And all tucked up underneath. Really happy with it. That Flowmaster kit, tailpipe kit, fits nicely. I didn't have to do really any modifications at all. And you can see it moves around, but not, you know, you want some movement, but you don't want, you know, a lot of movement. So I'm real happy. Came out real nice. All right, well, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Sorry about all the noise in the shop here today. It's raining, and it echoes in here when it rains. But anyways, exhaust came out really good. Man, I am beat. You know, welding on my back, underneath the car on jack stands. Holy man, I tell you what, it's a lot of work, and it'll take a lot out of you, especially an old guy like me. But anyways, like I said, I'm happy. That Flowmaster tailpipe kit, man, they did it. They did their homework on that. It fit right in there real nicely. So thanks again to the new subscribers, man. I appreciate you guys, and make sure you tell your friends and you share and you comment and you do all those good things. If there's anything you want to see me do or whatever, go ahead and let me know. I'll see what I can do about it. So thanks again, and everybody stay safe. I'll see you next time.